12 stages of Absalom's spirit. And what sets the stage is you're gonna get your Bibles. And I want to go to chapter 13 of 2 Samuel. Chapter 13 of 2 Samuel. Briefly, David has, and I believe in Gershom, David has 6 now sons. And David has multiple wives. And during this time, Solomon's about 2 years old. But his oldest son is Amnon during this time. My reader, if I got a reader, all right, start off with 2 Samuel chapter 13 and 1, and it's going to bring us into incest in the family of David. Okay? 13 and 1, reader go.
Came to pass after this.
Now, again, this is the 12 stages of an Absalom spirit, and I'm going to walk you through them, and I'm not going to try to rush because I want you to understand it. I want you to really get this. Churches don't go through what they go through. The church doesn't just stumble upon these things. There are spirits that churches they battle with. My brothers and sisters, spirits have to come through somebody. They have to have a house to live in. All right? Read.
And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her.
Now, when you find in the Old Testament, when you find in the book of Deuteronomy, it'll let you know what not to do. And it talks about how to deal with if it happens to be incest in the family, what to do about it, and how to handle the situation. Tamar, the sister of Absalom, this is one of their half-sister. Absalom's whole sister, but Amnon's half-sister. Read. So they had a beautiful sister. She's pretty, she's gorgeous, and her name is Tamar. Read.
And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar.
Okay, now he's desperately in love with his half-brother sister.
For she was a virgin. Okay. And Amnon thought it was hard for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shema, David's brother.
Now he was the son of David's brother. All right.
And Jonadab was a very subtle man.
Now, this is Amnon's cousin. All right. I know y'all be looking like, well, Pastor, I'm trying to connect the dots, but I only got an hour to do this in. Read.
And he said unto him, why art thou being the king's son, lean from day to day? Will thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him,
every morning, this brother has what we call a dejected personality, a dejected attitude, right? Dejected. He's miserable. Every day, put a pin in that. Has anybody ever noticed anybody around you that seem like they just miserable every day? They just look miserable. They just, this is the king's son. And he's just, his cousin, man, you just deject. What's your problem? Okay, read.
And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister.
Now, right there, he's jacked up. Help me say jacked up. Okay, listen, sin will mess with you mentally. You keep playing with sin, it's going to mess with you. He is the best. He is overly excited sexually about his half-brother's sister to where this brother can't function. Read.
And Jonathan said unto him, lay thee down in thy bed and make thyself sick.
Will y'all mark 5? This is his cousin telling him, just play sick. Go back to bed and pretend that you're sick. Read.
And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat.
Now, watch this now. You remember, this is David's son, right? This is Absalom sister. Okay. Read.
And dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it.
Read.
And eat it at her hand. So Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes.
His dad, King David, come and see about one of his sons. Now remember, David has 6 sons here. And again, as I was doing my study, and I said, now where is Solomon at? Put a pin there. Earlier, you'll find that David gets in trouble with God because David does repent of his sin, but he takes another man's wife, Uriah's. David commands Uriah killed. He gets him killed. And then he takes his wife. Okay, well, he takes his wife first, then he's trying to cover up his sin. And this is Solomon's older brother by the same mother, which is Bathsheba. I'm trying to connect the dots for you. All right. Go, reader.
I pray thee.
What verse are we in? Verse 5.
Verse
Read.
5. And the king, and when the king was come to him to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand.
Cook my favorite dish. Read.
Verse 7.
David agrees.
Then David
sent
home to Tamar, saying, Go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress him meat. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house.
Now, according to the custom, virgins was kept protected. They always had people around them to keep them protected. and they were dressed, and you could tell who was a virgin because how they dressed. So they were very protective. And since David had multiple sons, it was known that the biological brother of the sister, if she was a virgin, they would be so protective. All right? Read.
And she took flour and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight and did bake the cakes.
Yes.
And she said, and she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all men from me. And they went out every man from him. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber.
Now, you remember I just showed you that there is always somebody around to protect the virgins. But look what Amnon did. He did what? He sent out the men. So the only one was in there was just Amnon and Tamar. Read.
And Tamar, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made and brought them into the chamber to Amnon, her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, come, come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel.
Because in the book of Leviticus, it told you, remember, the Mosaic law was intact. And put a pin there. The Bible tells us and shows us what to do. And some people still, when you have the word of God that will tell you what and what not to do, you still, if you're in your flesh, will go on in spite of what the word says. You're just going to do what you want to do anyway. Are y'all with me? Read.
Do not thou this folly, and I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel.
You'll be the greatest fool in Israel if you do this.
Now therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee.
Now, she did this trying to sway him, get him off of her any kind of way, knowing that David would not even allow this thing to happen. But she's trying to reach through his forcefulness. Read.
Howbeit, he would not hearken unto her voice.
Verse 14. And he's a man stronger than she is.
But being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. Then
now watch. In the beginning, I showed you that he said that he loved her. We look at somebody close to you and tell them, love don't hurt. And if you're single, lady, whatnot, and that man said, oh, he loved you, he hurting you, that ain't love. That ain't nothing to do with love. Well, will y'all help me communicate this lesson tonight? And ask her, what love got to do with it? Yeah, there you go. That ain't got nothing to do with love. If you love her, there wouldn't be this mistreated, let alone raping her. So it shows you how he was obsessed, because his flesh, that sex is a beast, is like a drug. And he was obsessed with it. Read.
Then
you should be in verse 15.
Verse 15, yes. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her.
Wait a minute. Did not the scripture say that he said he loved her? But now he hates her. He got what he wanted from her, and now he hates her. That's why we tell our young women, single women, whatnot, try to save yourself or whatnot, And there used to be a time that, the way we would young men, young women look, you had to guess what was underneath the clothing. Now you ain't got to guess no more because everything is shown. There ain't no guessing to it. I wish that somebody talk back to me. How can you hate somebody as much as you love them? See, the enemy will get to your mind and he'll twist you up. That's why the Bible said that there are ways that seem right unto man, but therein is destruction. Am I talking to you? Read.
So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her.
Read that again. The hatred that he what?
So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her.
So his hatred is now stronger towards her than he said his love was. Now, my brothers and sisters, I'm trying to build this up because remember, this is Absalom. And I'm talking about the 12 stages of an Absalom spirit. Right now, how many is on Absalom's side? Let me see your hand. Ain't nobody got a hand up, right? Well, all right. You're not there with me yet. Okay. All right. Keep reading. Keep reading. Somebody don't know.
And Amnon said unto her, Arise, be gone.
Read.
And she said unto him, There's no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me.
Now see, he didn't only rape her, but now he had cut her life off to where no other man wants her. And then the enemy is setting this up that David's about to lose not just one son, but 2 sons and a daughter. See how the enemy can go through, and when he starts moving in your family, it's a chain reaction. He just don't get you, but he's after you, your children, your children's children, right? He's trying to mess up another generation. Anybody with me? Read.
But he would not hearken unto her.
He wouldn't listen. Got a head like a brick. He messed up and still he ain't listening. See, some folks you just can't, some folks you just can't help. That's why you have to give them over to God. You gotta let God. And when you give them to God, you gotta take your hands off of it. You can't give things to God and take your hand and then go back and go after it. Now I know somebody said, Pastor, but listen, you can't give God something and take it back from God. Remember, God doesn't make anybody do anything. You got to want to surrender. Right? Read.
Verse 17. Then he called his servants that ministered unto him and said, Put now this woman out from me.
Throw the woman out.
And bolt the door
and
after
lock
her.
the door. Wait a minute. I think I was just talking about the pimp, how Satan's a pimp. Yeah. Now he done raped his brother's sister, his half brother's sister, and he loved her. He said he loved her, but now his hate is stronger towards her than the love he had. And then he's going to kick her out and then lock the door. He done destroyed this woman's life. She took her virginity and cut off her future. No man will want her now. And now, come on, read some more.
Verse 18, and she had a garment of diverse colors.
Remember the diverse colors? That was letting everybody know that she's a virgin. Mm-hmm. And that's a well-known thing. That was pride in that. Huh? I just had one. It came to my mind, but I ain't going to do it. Read.
For with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled.
Oh, right? The king's daughter. Mm-hmm. Read. Then
his servant brought her out and bolted the door after her. And Tamar put ashes on her head and rent her garments of diverse colors.
She wore this long, beautiful robe as a custom, but now she done tore her robe, put ashes on her head, and then with her face in her hands, she bowed herself, crying, running away. Where did she go? Verse 20.
And Absalom, her brother, said unto her,
Uh-huh.
Hath Amnon thy brother?
Absalom, now here's Absalom now. Read.
Hath Amnon my brother been with you?
Has Amnon been with you? Uh-huh.
But hold now thy peace, my sister.
Quiet. Keep quiet, my sister.
He is thy brother. Regard not this thing.
I'm here. I'm your brother. I got you. Sis, I got you. I got you, sis. Don't worry about it. And history says that Tamar lived as a desolate woman in her brother's Absalom's house. Verse 21. Read.
But when King David...
Will y'all mark 21? Uh-huh. When David, the king,
heard of all these things,
heard what?
He was very wroth.
He was very angry. Read.
And Absalom spake unto his brother Amnon, neither good nor bad.
Now, Absalom didn't say nothing to his brother, good or bad. Uh-huh.
For Absalom hated Amnon because he had forced his sister Tamar.
Now, is anybody with Absalom now? Anybody support Absalom? Y'all ain't talking to me. If you're with Absalom, let me see your hand. Just raise your hand up. Absalom's sister got raped by their brother, right? Absalom now is being a covering for his sister. How many support Absalom? Okay. Huh? Wait, hold on. We ain't done yet. I just asked you, do y'all get it? You get it? All right. Okay, go ahead. Give her a mic. I'll give her a mic because we're live streaming. You give her a mic.
Absalom.
It ain't on yet, daughter.
All right. What about him dealing with his brother?
We ain't got there yet.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Hello. All right. Read or go.
Verse 23. And it came to pass.
Now, how many know when the Bible said it came to pass? What does that mean? Daughter, I want you to keep the mic with you. Huh? Not it's happening, right? It come to pass, right? Read.
And it came to pass after 2 full years that Absalom had sheep shearers in Baal-hazor, which is beside Egypt.
Did y'all underline 2 years? Right? Absalom had not forgotten what he did to his sister, right? For 2 years, he let this thing what? 2 years, right? Is that right? 2 years. See, some of y'all, things happen right now that y'all want to just knee jerk. This man, 2 years now. Read.
And Absalom invited all the king's sons. And Absalom came to the king and said, Behold now, thy servant has sheep shearers. Let the king, I beseech thee, and his servants go with thy servant. And the king said to Absalom.
Back at that time, when it was a season to shear the sheep, it was they gave a party, right? It was they had like a banquet, sheep shearing banquet, and they would invite all of the relatives and stuff to this great occasion of sheep shearing. All right. And you hear the record says that Absalom invites all of his brothers. Shows you that his brothers, right? He invites them all. All right, read.
And the king said to Absalom, Nay, my son, let us not all go, lest we be chargeable. unto thee.
Mhm.
And he pressed him.
Yes.
Howbeit he would not go, but blessed him. Then said Absalom.
Now watch this. Watch this. Absalom has planned some action. And he's trying to plot it out to where there's no way in the world that Amnon is going to escape him. So if Absalom could get David, their daddy, to get everybody together, all the brothers, and go, he knew Abner had to come. But now David said, no, if all of our servants go, man, you can't feed us all. That's just, it would be so overwhelming. So then Absalom says, well, send who? Amnon. He ain't talked to him in what? 2 years. Now David said, why do you want Amnon to come? Remember now, David knows what Amnon did, right? Absalom knows what Amnon did, right? And Amnon knows what he did to Tamar. And David said, you ain't talked to him for 2 years. In other words, like, maybe now that 2 years have passed and maybe the brothers and the family can get together now. And remember the rest of the brothers. Because if David knows, right, Absalom knows, the other brothers know too. So there is a what? There's a breach in the family. There is dysfunctionalism, or there's a dysfunctional spirit in the family. But all Absalom wants is revenge. Are y'all with me? Help me say the 12 stages of an Absalom spirit. Read. Oh, I'm eating up my time. Well, praise God. Come on.
26. Then said Absalom, if not, I pray thee, let my brother Amnon go with us. And the king said unto him,
yeah,
why should he go with thee? But Absalom pressed him.
Why you want him to go? Huh? Well, you ain't spoken. Why? Read.
But Absalom pressed him that he let Amnon and all the king's sons go with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now Absalom had commanded his servants, saying, mark ye now when Amnon's heart is merry with wine.
Now remember, we done called a family. We got a family gathering going on. And I want you, my servants, when you see my brother higher than the Georgia pine, wait until he gets bent first. Don't do nothing until he's get bent, right? Because he done messed up my sister. Yeah. Now that's his brother. Is that right? Read.
And when I say unto you, smite Amnon, then kill him.
When I tell you to get him, do what?
Kill him.
Kill him. Read.
Fear not, have I not commanded you? Be courageous and be valiant. And the servant of Absalom did unto Amnon as Absalom had commanded. Then all the king's sons arose, and every man got him up upon his mule and fled.
Man, when Absalom kills his brother, they got their donkeys. They got to step it. They didn't know what Absalom's about to do. Do you not know? That's why the Bible, put a pin in that one. My brother and sister, that's why the Bible says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. When things are not right and out of order, get it right before the sun goes down. Don't let that stuff fester in you. Absalom had 2 years. He planned to kill his brother. 2 years for raping their sister. Read.
30. And it came to pass while they were in the way that tidings came to David saying,
they were on the way back to Jerusalem, and now there's a report that reached David. And here's a report. See, there's always somebody always carrying a lie. I don't care what, there's always somebody will mess up a true story. Somebody said a lie is the first thing to get there. It seems like the truth takes a long time. When the truth comes, it stands on its own. Somebody done lied now. Read.
saying, Absalom has slain all the king's sons, and there's not one of them left.
That ain't what Absalom did.
Mm-mm.
He killed who? Abner. Read.
Then the king arose and tear his garment.
Now here's David. David tears his garment. Now he gets up, tore his robe, threw himself on the ground, and all of his advisors tore their clothes in honor of David's sorrow. Read.
32. And Jonadab, the son of Shema, David's brother, answered and said, let not my lord suppose that they have slain all the young men, the king's sons. For Amnon is dead.
David. All your sons ain't dead. Just one. I don't know who told you that, David. It's bad enough that one brother kills another brother, but all your sons ain't dead. Read.
For by the appointment of Absalom, this has been determined from the day that he forced his sister Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therefore, let not my lord, the king, take the thing to his heart, to think that all the king's sons are dead, for Amnon only is dead. But Absalom fled.
Okay. Absalom fled. Now, Absalom in verse 30, probably 37. David is mourning for his son Amnon. Absalom goes to his grandfather's house. All right. This is his mother's father in Gershur. Geshur. Right? You'll find that in verse 37b. Am I in the book? Okay, good. Praise Jesus. He stays there for about 3 years. Read that for me, please. I want to make sure I'm right. Give me the right information.
Pastor, which verse did you
try 39 or try 38. That'll be 2 Samuel. Is that right? All right, come on, missionary.
So Absalom fled and went to Gershur.
Yes.
And was there 3 years.
3 years. Uh-huh.
And the soul of the king longed to go forth unto Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Amnon.
One son is dead, but now he loves him some Absalom. Right? Now, jump down to chapter 14 and verse 1. Read or go. 2 Samuel chapter 14 and verse 1.
Now Joab, the son of Zeruiah, perceived that the king's heart was toward Absalom. And Joab sent to Tehoah and fetched thence a wise woman.
Let me fast forward. David knows what God spoke through the Leviticus law when there is incest in the family and there's a rape, what the consequence is, which is being stoned to death. All right? David didn't do that to Absalom. Are y'all with me? He didn't do that to Absalom. But the people wanted justice for David's daughter. And he wanted justice for killing Amnon. But the Bible said that David loved Absalom, right? But David didn't do what the Lord said to do. And the people take note. Now, my brothers and sisters, first of all, I want to bring, because now, if you notice, Absalom now has an independent spirit. What does that mean? Absalom now no longer wants to serve his king, his dad, he becomes independent. He becomes independent, and the spirit that he has now is, now let's walk this through. I need a show of hands again. How many support the stage that Absalom is in? Let me see your hands. Okay, I got one. Who does not support him? Let me see your hands. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got 5 that don't support. Okay, can we get some mics here? Tell me why you support, and I need somebody why not support. You're the one that's okay. Come on, yeah, please.
So he was.
Now give me the name. He.
Absalom.
He
was the only one that was looking out for his sister's honor.
Now, remember there's other brothers, right?
Correct.
And so he's the only one that's stepping up.
He's the only one that's stepping up. And even when he stepped up, it said they ran.
Tamar's living with him in his house.
Living with him, desolate.
Yeah.
She is unmarriable.
Yes.
At this point, this man has ruined this woman.
Yeah.
And he's the only one, his father, who is the king, who rightfully can do something about it, has done nothing. So he's trying to look out for his sister's honor.
Okay. Who is against that? Pass the mic so we can hear you.
Because in the beginning, he's the one that started this.
Who did? Who?
He's the one that started this.
He started it?
Yes. It was his suggestion that kicked this all off.
Okay, now, what about the raping of his sister?
Yes, it was his idea. Basically.
No, remember, Amnon rapes Absalom's sister.
Yeah.
So Absalom now is coming to his sister's what?
Coming to her aid.
Right. Is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong for that.
He's not wrong for that. What is Absalom wrong of? I see your hand. Keep on. All right. Was there a mic down there? She's going and walk down. There's a mic down there. And then give it to our sister right in the middle. Sister Erica, there's a mic there. Go, Sister P.
Well, my understanding is that, before we get to 2 Samuel, one of the commandments was, thou shalt not kill. Okay, why is one brother killing another brother? The king's doing nothing about it. The brothers are fleeing. This is just messed up.
So you support?
No, I don't support. I don't support him killing his brother. No, to me that's like Cain and Abel. You're not supposed to kill. Like,
his sister is raped by his brother.
It still says, "Thou shalt not kill."
But what the law is, if that happens, he's supposed to be stoned to death. When the Old Testament says thou shalt not kill, that's premeditated murder.
Well, he's premeditating.
No.
He's waiting 2 years.
No, that's not premeditated. David should have had. I'm with you. David should have took care of the situation. But Absalom is mad at his daddy now because his daddy's not doing what the Mosaic law says because he loves his son. He loves all of his kids. Give me somebody else.
I just feel like Absalom is wrong for running away. Like, if you did something, you're supposed to stand 10 toes down on what you did. If you were stoned, you're stoned. If you're not,
so
God have mercy.
When he killed his brother, he should have stayed there and got the wrath of their daddy.
Yeah, because I don't believe there would have been a wrath.
But now David is not doing anything.
That's right. He already broke the law anyway, so I don't think there would have been a wrath for what he did to Absalom.
Okay. Who's my reader? Let's go a little further. Now I've showed you here. Now these are the stages of an Absalom spirit that is going on in our churches. First of all, there's an independent spirit. The first stage involves an attitude which you take on as being independent. The person no longer wants to serve leadership, but seeks recognition and a reputation. An independent spirit. My reader, go. We should be in verse, what is it? We're in chapter 14 and verse. Where's my help at?
Okay, so I'll start at 2.
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
Verse 2, go.
And Joab sent to Tekoa and fetched hence a wise woman and said unto her, I pray thee, deign thyself to be a mourner, and put on now mourning apparel, and anoint not thyself with oil.
All right. I want you to do that. I mean, now this is Absalom going to return in that chapter 14. Give me chapter 14 and verse 25.
But in all Israel, there was none to be so praised as Absalom for his beauty, from the sole of his feet even to the crown of his head.
Stop. Now, single sisters, now don't listen. Y'all slow down. I see y'all back there. Slow down now. Go ahead.
There was no blemish in him.
What? Read.
And when he polled his head, for it was at every year's end that he polled it, because the hair was heavy on him. Therefore he polled it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels.
Wait. Slow down. The man cut his hair once a year. And then only because it was the reason why he has cut his hair, because it was so heavy. And when he did cut it, it came out, his hair weighed about 5 pounds. He had 5 pounds of hair on his head. Can you imagine 5 pounds of hair? What is it?
That's a small dog.
He had that much hair on his head. That man has some braids. Oh my goodness. So he cut his hair once a year. Read.
And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons and 1 daughter, whose name was Tamar. And she was a woman of fair countenance. And Absalom dealt 2 years in Jerusalem and saw not
David
the king's
allows him to come back. And the people now love him. In verse 25, right? He has not been what?
Hasn't been around the king.
Ain't been around the king. Has the king done anything to him?
No.
But the people did what?
They loved him.
They loved him. And they loved him because the man was the sisters. Oh, yeah.
He was fine.
He was what?
He was fine.
That man was fine.
Had some good looking kids.
I'm trying to tell you something. And all that hair. Oh, look at that. Read. I can't come on, read.
Therefore, Absalom sent for Joab to have sent him to the king, but he would not come to him. And when he sent again the second time, he would not come. Therefore, he said unto his servants, see, Joab's field is near mine, and he hath barely there. Go, set it on fire. And Absalom's servants set the field on fire. Then Joab arose and came to Absalom unto his house, and said unto him, wherefore have thy servants set my field on fire? And Absalom answered, Joab, behold, I sent unto thee, saying, come hither, that I may send thee to the king to say, wherefore am I come from Jeshurun?
Jump over real quick. If you look at, give me chapter 15 and verse 1. We got an independent spirit. 1.
And it came to pass after this that Absalom prepared his chariots and horses and 50 men to run before him. And Absalom rose up early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man that had a controversy came to the king for judgment, then Absalom called unto him and said, Of what city art thou? And he said, Thy servant is of one of the tribes of Israel. And Absalom said unto him, See, thy matters are good and right.
Wait, pause real quick. Has Absalom now self-promoted himself?
Mm-hmm.
Has he?
Yes.
So now he's doing what?
He's trying to be the king.
He's what?
He's trying to be the king.
So wait a minute. Put a pause in. He done left from being a rightful protector of his family, right? Getting back at what his daddy didn't do. And now he's moving in two areas now. He's independent now, meaning nobody tell him what to do. He's got the favor of people, and now he's self-promoting himself. The Absalom spirit. Sound like some people. Independent. They're now self-promoting. In other words, you win the favor of the people, and now you think you're somebody. Y'all quiet on me. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
What verse are you at?
I was at 3.
Give me, and we're still in 50. Give me verse 5.
Verse 5.
No, go verse 4. I'm sorry, please.
Verse 4. And Absalom said, Moreover, oh, that I were made judge in the land.
Wait a minute. You know what? Y'all need to make me judge. Because if you notice, he's still mad at his daddy.
Mm-hmm.
He's mad at his father. What is he mad about?
His father did honor him.
Huh? Yeah, y'all go. I'm seeing you. What is he mad at his father about? I think first I can hear for like, yeah, that. But what this in? Why would you go through one situation and it was a bad situation, but now you have just spread it yourself and you moving in an area because now what he's doing has nothing to do with his sister being raped and him killing. He still had not been reprimanded for killing his brother. Now he's in a mode of self-promotion because now people look up to him and saying what? First of all, he's good looking. Don't that sound familiar about Lucifer? He's independent now. He got an independent spirit. Nobody can tell him what to do. His daddy don't even have reign on him no more because his daddy loves him, right? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm eating up my time. Oh man, where am I at?
Verse 4.
Give me verse 4, please.
Oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man.
He's saying, listen, you know what? Everybody should bring their cases to me. Yeah. You got people now in the church. They won't come to the pastor. They won't come to them that's in authority. They want you to come to them. Want you to hit me up on what is it? Facebook or you got something going on in your life. But your pastor is the one that put you there. But now you think now, because you have some respect of people and people have, now you just want to go hog wild. The 12 stages of an apple. I got to go. I got 10 more that I got to walk down, but I thank God for each and every one of you that came in and stopped in tonight with us. I'm gonna have to continue with this series because I'm going to talk about the 12 stages of Absalom spirit that is prevalent in our churches among us. And if you stick with me, we're going to see what the end is going to be. And we'll be able to notice and we'll be able to identify. And maybe some of you have been in an area that you've been hurt or wounded or tried to be protected. But now that thing is over with, but you're still carrying on in other areas that you'll end up in a deficit. Stay with us. Thank you again for stopping in with Living the Word with Pastor Clay. Be blessed of God.